The creative process comes from many different places, some of which I control, some of which I don't, because the true creativity is an uncontrolled muscle, like breathing, like heartbeats. You cannot control it, or you can control it for very little time, but then you die if you don't let go. So being in between is what interests me. It's not the balance or the disorder, it's what actually happens in between. And to deal with it on a daily basis with the creativity it's trial and error and testing all the time, right? I test me and myself. I test myself and the environment. I test the work that I do, how it interacts with others, with the environment, with nature, with the architecture, with everything which is around us. My studio is in the house, and the house is in the studio. So it's constantly being that relationship, which is the dialogue, from the moment I open my eyes, or even before, till the day after. Emotional depth, how to infuse it. It's infused naturally. It starts from there. It's not an on-off mechanism. Like now I put more emotion, now I put more sharpness. Now it's not the way it happens to me personally. Emotions, I'm super sensitive. I'm like a radar. Sometimes too much. It affects me in many different ways. Some of which I know, some of which I only discover right after. So it's emotions are the keynote that we have for everything we do. Even if we want to believe that technology or intellect or writing and so, writing not as text, but dictating movement, for example, to a robot, takes away its emotion. So there is a phase in the work. There's a path, a part of the path I'm walking with every work, which is creating its own self. So I would not say it's artificial intelligence. I would say it's simply emotional intelligence. It's the same because I'm the same person. I'm not the personal and the work. I'm the personal and the work. One reason I cannot do a chronological book about my work is because I work on subjects. I don't work on objects. Of itself doesn't really interest me. It's only a jumping board, a bridge for people to communicate with me and with the object and vice versa, but also to communicate with themselves. So I consider that, I don't want to say I'm a doctor, but I'm a non-trained doctor or psychotherapist. This is what I do best. and the work do that with me. But the transitions are, so since I work with subjects and not with objects or materials, they come, they interfere or they participate. The subjects I'm dealing with are long life, and they start to interact between them. We are losing the intensity of things, and this is social code. But the transition between social code into the beauty of the other, which is the subject of my actual exhibition, is so relevant and tangible to what we live today. The material I prefer most is emotions. The second material I prefer is intelligence. And the third one is the ability to feel without seeing. Materials come naturally by their presence. For example, I can pick a few stone and make something with it because it's next to me. Material can have a function like a paint. So if you want to paint with blue, so maybe blue for me is stainless steel when it is reflected or not. So if it is reflecting, it shows us the surrounding. And if it is not, it is introverted. And this is used depending on the work itself and depending on the specific moment of the work. I don't do prejudgment. I don't wake up in the morning and say, today I'm doing bronze. I work. And sometimes I make my models in wood, and then I look at it and say, wow, it's so good. So it stays wood, even though I thought that would be a simulation for something else or whatever it is. So I like to explore material. I probably have one of the most elaborated material library that I collect since many, many years, because I'm a little bit obsessed with this, and I use that. We have first to be who we are. People are people. No, there's some people who do B2C, right? You go on a dinner. What do you do? Oh, I do B2C, and I'm doing B2B. And when you what do I do? I do P2P. I do people to people. The most important part in this world is people. Without people, there's nothing. No innovation, no engineering, no art, no medicine, no urge for life, nothing. There's no poetry, no music, nothing. So the first important thing is people, and all the work is concentrated towards that.
So it's next steps from the nature.
Definitely the art world has not only has changed, but is constantly changing from how the public come across or in contact with the work. Galleries, auction, fairs, manifest events, and so on and so on. So I don't, well, what I do is I just keep on working. I'm just doing my work. I'm taking things away from here to here, or to there, or to here. It's tough because when we make an exhibition, I don't know, everybody has his own experience, but when I make an exhibition, when I prepare for an exhibition, sometimes it's 3 years, sometimes it's 3 minutes, it doesn't matter. It's a process and time. It has a lot of intensity which comes with it. It has a mental, emotional, financial preparation. The painting is one thing, sculpture is another thing. It costs a fortune to produce and to maintain and to ship and to crate and to carry and to crane and so on and so. So I'm like an entrepreneur in almost doesn't matter what kind of business, where I am the chef, I'm growing the vegetables, I am cleaning the kitchen, I'm making the apparatus, all the kitchen instruments, I'm shaping the knives, I'm making the plates, I'm doing everything, total. So it's, I would say it's probably one of the high-risk business or activity where you cannot measure anything. Because I've been experiencing exhibition that was sold in 3 hours, an exhibition that didn't sell at all. And the reason is multiple. There's so many reasons why something works or doesn't work at a given moment of time. We are dependent and independent at the same time from what's going on. Obviously, when the world collapses, when people, after 5 years of war and viruses and this and that and so on, and any kind of psychological impact, are at the stage of incertitude. And when a human is in a stage of incertitude, is inert. Only some are very dynamic in this situation. But I'm a positivist in general, not in general, all the time. So I think it's an incredible period. I think it's an outstanding situation where we have to go beyond ourselves. We have to find what really take us forward or project us to the next step and bring that over, because this is the bridge when people meet. What can you do more? So everybody have done almost everything in different scales. What artwork gives you, this interaction is unique, and it gives it to you every second of your life when you live with it. So a car you buy, and the interaction you have with it is the time you drove with it. So you have it for 10 years and you drove it, say 3 months, 24 hours a day. So it's not a great ratio for something that costs 50 or 60 or 20 or 100. Artwork that you see every second when you are at home, you come at home, you see it. You get out of the toilet, you see it. You talk to somebody, you see it. You're on the phone talking to somebody else on the other side of you see it. It's constantly interacting. And even after you sold it or lost it or whatever, it keeps on being there. The ideal collector is the one that never stops collecting. That means that he indulges his desire into understanding the essence of my work, and he logs into it. It could be the emotional part or the beauty part or the material or whatever it is, but there is a follow-up, because what is really... So when one collects, or when a collector comes to visit, which is something that I experienced in the last 5 years since I moved the studio, and I have 12,000 square meters of a park where all the sculptures are there and so on. People are having an experience which is beyond the gallery or the auction, or it's experiencing themselves with the work. And I see how different people react obviously in different ways. But the collectors that come back and acquire a different kind of work, in many cases in my exhibition, people ask how many artists are here, because I'm doing so many different works dealing with the different subjects we talked about. That they are the collector. I see them as an investigator, not as a collector. They collect to investigate and to interact with, rather than collect to count the number of things they have. So that's how I see it. And the best collector is a friend. It becomes a friend. I wouldn't say what art should. I think art is playing an important role simply by the fact of existing, because it is not forcing. It is not generated by the system. It's generated and presented by the individuals. It's from people to people, the way I see it. I'll give you another example. You sit in a dinner, relax, and they start asking each other, so what do you do? I'm an accountant, and this one is a lawyer, and this one is a cook, and so and so and so. And when you get to the particular one, you say, well, what are you doing? You say, I'm an artist. And when somebody says, I'm an artist, everybody goes, wow. Why? Because it comes with a basket of things that we ignore in this, or we don't want to live in this corridor of doors, and freedom. That's what it comes with. Art will always evolve. Evolution is maybe not the right word, because it's not about becoming something else. It's about staying art. So how is it practiced? How is it come out to the public? How is it experienced? How it is taking over some parts of our life? This will always be there in different ways. So if you refer to what we call today AI, which is absolutely not new, have been practiced. I use it since 20 years. We just call it today AI. It's like same sustainability. From day one of Homo sapiens, sustainability was important. All this is not new. It's happening. And the freedom that artists have is to use it in the right way, or work with it in the right way. I think it's not to be called a documentary. I think it should be called a future makery. So thank you.